really trying to make a difference in their communities. My name is Anjuma Goswami Karkera. I'm the CEO of the Institute for Building Technology and Safety. At IBTS, we refer to ourselves as the America's nonprofit, engineering solutions to help communities thrive. Our focus is on serving local, state, federal clients who share our passion for creating stronger, safer, and more resilient communities. This morning, I want to address a topic that's all too familiar to all of us. Where does innovation meet compliance? I want to address some barriers to innovation, and then I want to offer some solutions. Let's start with a simple image. When you were a child, you may have played a game in which one team was on one side of a rope and another team was on another side of a rope. And they pulled back and forth with no clear winner until someone falls and crashes. We used to call it tug of war, tug of ropes. On one side of that rope, imagine a group of people that stick to the tried and true, the traditional methods that have kept their systems running smoothly for years. They're strong, steady, grounded in what's familiar. That's compliance. The other side of the rope are the innovators. They're full of energy, pushing forward, moving fast, new ideas, looking for change. The tension between these two groups is real. It exists. And it never really goes anywhere but a back and forth, and a back and forth. In the middle are the communities that both teams are trying to serve, essentially getting nowhere. Let's talk for a minute about the barriers to innovation. And there are many, but I'm going to go through a few of them. Organizational change and culture. Many organizations are simply comfortable with status quo. They're wary of new methods, new technology, so they don't move forward. They stick to the tried and true. Why risk it? Limited resources. Financial constraints and lack of investments can stifle innovative projects. New is hard. New requires more money. New requires risk. Bureaucratic red tape. This is one of my favorites. Bureaucratic red tape can make complex approval processes, procedures, rules, requirements that really slow down new initiatives, saps the energy out of those energetic people that are coming up with new ideas to help their communities. Risk aversion. What if we fail? What are we doing? We don't know anything about this. That deters teams from pursuing those innovative ideas because they don't want to be perceived as failures, so they don't move forward. Lack of skills and knowledge. Sometimes the necessary skills and expertise aren't resident in the team, so they don't keep up and they don't push forward. As a result, the tension builds, and innovation and compliance create this environment of no movement. Stay where you are. But what if we shifted that perspective? I gave you the image of two teams on opposite ends of the road. Let's reframe that image. Now imagine two teams not pulling against each other, but actually in one boat, rowing together in one space. with one mission, the same communities, the same people, the same needs. Each of those people on that boat has a role. They have a responsibility. They row in sync, and if they do, they move faster, more efficiently, more securely. It's not about one side winning. It's about moving forward together. This approach is needed here in the Caribbean, where the challenges are unique and pressing. The threat of hurricanes, rising sea levels, need for resilient infrastructures aren't just hypothetical, they're real. They're being experienced constantly. So the need to come together is not hypothetical, it's mandatory. So how do we honor the strengths of compliance while embracing innovation that helps us meet those challenges head on? Helping all of you do exactly what you want to do is to help your communities thrive. Let me start by sharing my own personal experiences. Before joining the Institute for Building Technology and Safety, I spent years in the intelligence community at the Department of Defense. We struggled with this tension between compliance and innovation constantly. I culminated my career as a member of the Senior Executive Service. My former agency is responsible for using geospatial intelligence to protect U.S. military members, our servicemen, our civilians, and our allied forces. We help identify our nation's adversaries in real time. Not tomorrow, not next month, right now, right here, in real time. We support military campaigns, including playing a pivotal role in the 2001 Osama bin Laden compound raid. We support humanitarian and disaster relief, working in conjunction with FEMA and others. Those partnerships help bring stability to hard-hit communities following hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, and humanitarian issues like the Ebola crisis in 2014. All of those issues, all of those circumstances don't wait. People don't wait. They need help at that moment. They need information and data at that moment. Innovation in the intelligence community is an imperative. We must stay ahead of the nation's adversaries. In the intelligence community, the adversary does not win. The threat does not win. Compliance with our nation's laws is also an imperative. We cannot break nation's laws, even if our mission is so important. It's not an option to break a law. It's not an option not to be compliant, but it is not an option not to win. When it comes to innovation, one of the biggest challenges we face was monitoring global threats in real time, while at the same time balancing the need to protect personal freedoms and privacy. We had to find ways for innovation and compliance to row together, not pull apart. It is a very tough balance. On one hand, you need to act, move fast, make a decision, make a call. On the other hand, you need to be careful. Don't infringe on people's rights. Don't violate the law. The situation wasn't about choosing side. It was about bringing both perspectives together, listening, paying attention, and finding the right solution in real time. Not the next day, not the day after, not a month from tomorrow. I'm proud to say that our nation's leaders have created clear laws, guidelines, and oversight to ensure that we use those powerful tools and capabilities in ways that safeguard individual freedoms, especially at home. We figured it out. We figured out how to innovate because we had to. We were moving threats from our people's lives. We had to be on the same boat. You might be wondering, why is she telling me this? Why does the intelligence community matter? The issues we face in our communities are no different than those that were faced in the intelligence community. The threats are no less real. The imperative is no less important. It is exactly the same. So if they can figure it out, if the intelligence community can figure it out, all of you can figure it out too, because you're committed to serving your people. The lesson I learned about innovating in the intelligence community is that when you want to, you will do it. You will solve that problem together, and you will be better off for it. Let's consider some examples that exist in your communities today. Public buildings. With smart building technology, we have the opportunity to monitor buildings in real time. Imagine public spaces where lights and heating and cooling systems automatically adjust based on how the space is used. It's about giving our facility teams better tools, not replacing expertise, but making their jobs easier, more effective. It's not about evolving compliance requirements. It's about evolving compliance requirements to address the innovation, not hindering innovation because of dated compliance requirements. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. It's about evolving compliance requirements to meet innovation. It's not about hindering innovation because of dated compliance requirements. Another innovation that is critical to developing and complying in the new world is building codes. The easiest way to drive innovation is to raise the bar on your building codes. You can't build and then not have a compliance framework to support that innovation. That innovation will die. It needs a compliance framework to keep that innovation going. Here in Puerto Rico, we know the importance of building structures that can withstand extreme weather. Traditional building methods have been honed over centuries to be more survivable over hurricanes. But the building codes need to change with them. That consistency across the region is what makes the region stronger. The building codes make sure that everybody keeps doing that innovative, century-old, hard, withstanding work easier. If we maintain outdated and archaic building codes, then we don't just simply condemn our buildings. We condemn ourselves as leaders because we just assigned ourselves the same outcomes over and over and over again. You have to include modern construction needs, methods and materials, climate resilience, energy efficiency, and sustainability. Speaking of modern standards, let's talk about the innovation associated with sustainable energy. Retrofitting older municipal buildings with solar panels or other resilient system isn't just about meeting codes. It's about leading by example. And the Caribbean has an opportunity unlike any other to lead in this area, to demonstrate innovation, new standards, new compliance requirements can come together and lead. Be the model that you want the rest of the world to follow. That is the opportunity that is in front of you. As we speak, the U.S. Department of Energy is installing solar installations in last mile communities, right here in Puerto Rico. These are citizens who are farthest from the electrical grid, where the energy supply is vulnerable. The challenges are immense. The key to innovation is collaboration. The Department of Energy, the Puerto Rican government, the local leaders, the engineers, the quality assurance crews, the individuals charged with training have to be together at the start to make that successful. And that's what the work that's being done today. They are all in the same room, in the same boat, fighting for the same communities, bringing their expertise, their perspectives, all at the same time. So how do we do this? We talked about the barriers, we talked about the imperative, so what do we need to do to make this happen? Let's overcome resistance to change. It starts with trust. You must respect the innovators. The innovators must respect the compliance people. You're on the same team. You're fighting for the same people. You want the same outcomes. You want your communities to thrive. So you need to learn to trust and respect each other. Come together, don't pull apart. Understand each other's why. Building on a shared vision and demonstrating how new methods align with long-term goals can foster change faster. When you row at the same time, 5 people rowing in the boat is going to get you farther than 1 person rowing by themselves. It's just that simple. Navigating limited resources. If money was abundant, we'd have no issues, but money is not abundant. The financial constraints can be very limiting, so prioritize. Make choices, informed choices. And you make informed choices by having everybody together to talk about the risks, to understand how far you can take those resources, the limitations of changing codes, standards, processes, compliance rules. Come together and make informed choices on how you want to use what limited resources you have to affect change. Streamline bureaucratic processes. Work to simplify the process of collaborating with regulatory agencies. Learn to listen to each other. Learn to find a way. Keep it simple. Bring the innovation to life. Mitigate risk aversion. It's all about culture. Don't be afraid to fail. Encourage a culture that embraces experimentation and learns from its setbacks, that celebrates small successes, even if it's that you're on the same boat. That's a success, and keep moving forward. Innovation is not easy. Bridge knowledge gaps. Invest in training, professional development, to ensure that your team is fired up for innovation, is aware, is knowledgeable, is developing a culture of learning. These gaps, the shorter that they are, the smaller that they are, the faster you'll be. Train, just like on a team, whether it's a basketball team, a football team, a boat team, you have to practice throwing the ball. The person has to practice catching the ball. Those things don't happen overnight. They happen because you keep doing it, and keep doing it, and you get better and better and better. Get on the same team and keep working together. If you address these barriers together, we will be rowing in sync towards a future where innovation is embraced. Together, through compliance, we build a stronger, safer, and more resilient communities across the Caribbean. You have choices to make as to whether or not, if you're an innovator, you're going to learn to respect compliance, and if you're a compliance person, you're going to learn to respect innovation. Those choices are yours. You can choose to be on the same team, or you can be in a tug of war. Those choices are yours. but the opportunity lost is thriving communities. So I urge you to make the choices that we make every single minute of every single day in the intelligence community. We choose our people over the enemy. Choose your people over the threats and be on the same team. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to all of you. I appreciate it.